Okay. So let's try to unpack this. You're a Manchester United fan, picture it, right? You've just seen your team under Michael Carrick absolutely take apart Manchester City. Then you watch them go and beat Arsenal, 2 huge wins, 2 performances where, expectations were they were blown out of the water. You should be feeling on top of the world, walking on air.
You'd think so. Logic would say you're planning the parade. And yet, if you actually listen to the fan base or you read the analysis from, say, United People's TV on today's game, the feeling isn't arrogance. It's not even confidence, really. It's pure anxiety.
It's high-grade stress, and that is the paradox we're diving into today. We're looking at the tactical preview for the Manchester United versus Fulham match. And the whole thing's just fascinating to me because somehow, after beating the 2 best teams in the country, a home game against Fulham is being called the real test.
It sounds totally backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You beat the champions, you beat the title contenders, but the team in 7th is the real boss battle. But when you actually, you strip it all back and look at the psychology of it, it makes perfect sense. This game is a litmus test.
So that's our mission today. We need to figure out why this Saturday kickoff against Fulham is causing what the source literally calls PTSD for fans. And we have to look at a huge injury that changes everything. Dorgu was out, which is a massive blow. And that gets us to the big debate. How do you replace him? Do you go with Cunha? Or is it time to unleash Sesko?
And that decision, the one about Dorgu's replacement, is going to tell us everything about how Carrick sees this team going forward. But before we even get to the tactics board, we have to talk about this whole trap game idea.
Yeah, let's get into that, because on the surface it just looks silly. United are flying. But the analysis points out some really important context for those wins against City and Arsenal.
The context is everything. In those 2 games, United were the underdogs. No one expected them to dominate the ball. They could sit back, soak up pressure, and just hit on the counter.
Which is their comfort zone.
It's absolutely the comfort zone for these players. And think about the atmosphere, right? City, Arsenal, the adrenaline is just built in. The stadium's electric. The players are dialed in because they know one mistake gets punished by a world-class player. You don't need a team talk for a derby.
But Fulham at home, that's a different animal.
A totally different beast. The analysis nails it. The script just flips out. United are expected to win. They're expected to have 60, maybe 65% possession. They're expected to break down a packed defense. And that is exactly where this team has fallen apart for the last, 18 months.
The source used the term PTSD. And honestly, I started thinking of the games and I got a headache. We're not talking about just dropping points. We're talking about disasters.
That 4-1 away loss to Wolves.
Oh, that was brutal. Then you have Bournemouth winning 3-0 at Old Trafford, Everton coming to town. These are all games where fans went in expecting 3 points and came out questioning everything.
That's the trap. And that's why this game is the real measure. Beating City is about adrenaline and big moments. Beating Fulham requires discipline, patience. It requires you to do the hard yards when the game's a bit, boring.
It's the professionalism test, isn't it? Can you be boring enough to win?
In a way, yeah. This game shows if they've really turned a corner. Because if you look at the rest of the season, there are a lot more Fulhams than there are Man Cities. A win here tells the fans, okay, we could do the glamour games, but we can also do the job on a cold Saturday afternoon.
It's about establishing trust. I like that. Okay, so knowing the stakes are actually kind of higher for this one, let's look at the team news. We mentioned the big one. Dorgu is officially out.
Which is a massive blow. He's been the engine of that left side.
And just to round it out, De Ligt is still not in training. Xerxes is, so he might make the bench, but definitely not ready to start. So the squad's a little thin, but there's one guy who apparently never needs a rest.
Luke Shaw.
The Iron Man. The analysis had this stat. He is the only player to start every single game this season. That's just wild, considering his injury record.
It's a huge gamble, but it just shows how vital he is. And yeah, he starts. There was a little bit of talk about the other fullback spot, Dalot or Mazraoui.
Yeah, Mazraoui gives you a bit more going forward, maybe.
He does. He's a bit more dynamic. But Dalot has been so solid, and I think the source makes a really good point here, which is basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
A philosophy I can get behind, especially when the defense has been the best part of Carrick's start. It feels like for the first time in a long time, United actually have a defensive identity.
They really do. And that's why the center-back partnership of Maguire and Martinez is almost untouchable right now.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Go on.
Because a worried fan, they'll look at the Arsenal game and say, wait, we conceded 2 goals. Is the defense really that solid?
See, this is where you have to look beyond the scoreline. The analysis on this was really sharp. The way they conceded those goals, it wasn't a structural collapse.
Right, they weren't getting sliced open with through balls.
Not at all. The first goal was from the second phase of a set piece, a scramble. That can happen. And the second one, the analysis called it a royal rumble in the 6-yard box.
I loved that. It's the perfect description, just bodies everywhere, chaos.
Exactly. It was a freak moment, not a tactical breakdown. Aside from that chaos, the Maguire-Martinez pairing has been brilliant. Martinez is the aggressor, stepping out, and Maguire just cleans everything up in the air. The balance is perfect.
So the back 5 pretty much picks itself. Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, Dalot, Onana. And the midfield feels just as settled. Casemiro and Manu have been great, and with only 1 game a week, there's no real need to rotate.
And that pivot gives you that perfect mix of, steel and silk. You don't mess with that. And of course, Bruno's at number 10.
So the whole spine of the team is stable, which brings us to the big problem. The attack. Dorgu is out. There is a hole. How on earth do you fill it?
And this is where it gets really interesting, because Carrick has 3, I think, very different options. And the one he picks will tell us exactly how he sees this game. He's not just picking a player, he's picking a philosophy.
All right, let's break it down. Option A. The analysis says this is the likely choice.
That would be Matheus Cunha.
The Brazilian. And you look at his recent form, it's hard to argue with it. He comes off the bench against City, gets the assist for Dorgu, comes off the bench against Arsenal, scores the winner.
He is the definition of an impact sub at the moment.
But, and this is a huge but the analysis pointed out, there's a stat attached to that Arsenal goal that honestly made my jaw drop. It was the first time a substitute has scored for Manchester United all season.
All season.
That's actually terrifying.
It's a grim stat. It just shows how little they've been getting from the bench. So on one hand, you have Cunha, who's finally breaking that curse. He's in form, he's confident. The logic is you have to start him.
But it's not just about rewarding form, is it? We talked about the Fulham trap. What does Cunha bring tactically that makes him the favorite?
It all comes down to defensive work rate. That's the key. Out of possession, under Carrick, United drop into this really compact 4-4-2 shape.
Right, yeah, I've seen that. Bruno pushes up with the striker and the wingers tuck right in.
Exactly. It makes them so hard to play through. And Dorgu was brilliant at that. He has the engine to get back. Cunha is the same. He's known for his work rate. He presses, he tracks back. If you play him on the left, you keep that defensive shape that's been the foundation of these wins.
He's not a luxury player. He'll put a shift in. Okay. But what about option B? Let's say Carrick thinks Fulham will just park the bus. He doesn't need a runner. He needs a battering ram.
Then you look at Sesko. This is the target man theory.
The big new signing.
Yeah. If you start Sesko, you change the whole dynamic. You suddenly have this huge physical presence in the box for crosses, for set pieces. If Fulham are sitting deep, having a guy who can just win a header is a massive weapon.
But that messes with the whole formation, doesn't it? You can't just stick Sesko on the wing.
No, of course not. If Sesko plays, he's central, which means Mbemo, who's been excellent up top, has to move.
The Mbemo shuffle.
Exactly. You push Mbemo out wide, and he can play there for sure, but you're disrupting a partnership.
Yeah.
And more importantly, does Sesko give you that defensive work rate we just talked about? Does he drop into that 4-4-2 block?
Probably not. He's a number 9. He wants to be in the box, not tracking a fullback.
And that's the risk. You might gain an attacking threat, but you could lose control of the game.
And then there was option C, the wild card, Ahmad.
Yeah, Ahmad is the outsider. The thinking there would be about balance. He's left-footed. If Carrick wants someone to cut inside from the right, he's the option. But given the need for defensive solidity, he feels like the least likely to start.
It just feels like Cunha's earned it, right? Assist against City, winner against Arsenal. If he doesn't start now, when does he?
That's the man management side of it, which is crucial. Cunha hasn't complained. He's come on and done his job. But if you leave him on the bench now, after that, you risk sending a really bad message.
So the verdict from the analysis is Cunha starts on the left and Mbemo stays central.
Yes. It keeps the defensive shape. It rewards a player in top form. And honestly, it's just the safest, most logical choice for a game like this.
Right. And speaking of Fulham, we should probably give them some respect. We keep calling it a trap, but they're 7th for a reason. They are a good side.
They're very difficult to beat, and they have specific threats, especially out wide. The analysis mentioned Harry Wilson by name,
Wilson's so tricky because he loves to drift inside onto his left foot.
which brings us right back to the work rate. United's fullbacks are going to be tested, and the key to their defensive success recently has been doubling up on the opposition wingers.
You never leave your fullback one-on-one.
Never. Not in the Premier League. If you do, they'll get beaten eventually. You need your winger, in this case, Kuna, to track back and make it a 2v1. You have to suffocate the space.
So if you played a more static attacker out there, you're basically just leaving your fullback completely exposed.
Exactly. You're inviting trouble, and that's why Kuna makes so much sense. It's not just what he does on the ball, it's what he does off it. If he plays, you should expect to see him doing a lot of work in his own half.
It's funny, we spend all week talking about who will score the goals, but the decision is entirely based on defense.
That's the Premier League for you, especially in a game you expect to dominate. If you get the defensive structure right, the quality up front should eventually get you a goal. But if you get it wrong, Fulham are good enough to punish you.
Okay, so we've got the likely lineup. We know the priority is defensive structure. Let's get to the prediction. Are we looking at another nail-biter or something calmer? My heart can't take another thriller.
The analysis is going for a 2-0 win for United.
A clean sheet? Wow. That feels bold given the history we've been talking about.
It is a bit bold, but the thinking is sound. The source admits there are no easy games, but the belief in that defensive structure is really high. The thinking is, if they stick to the plan, they can shut Fulham out.
And 2-0. That sounds like a professional, disciplined win. The perfect cure for that fan PTSD.
It does. And the so what here is huge. This isn't about headlines or bragging rights like the City game. This is about trust.
Trust in the process.
Trust between the fans and the team. If Carrick's United win this game, and win it comfortably, the fans can look at the rest of the season and think, okay, I believe in this.
Yeah.
That's worth more than 3 points. It's momentum.
It's the foundation, isn't it? You can't have a good season by only showing up for the big games. You have to beat the teams in the middle, too.
Exactly. Beating City is a highlight. Beating Fulham is a habit. And you need good habits to get into the top 4.
That's a great way to put it. So as you're watching the game, don't just follow the ball. Watch Kuna, or whoever starts out wide. Watch their defensive work. That could be the key to the whole thing.
And keep an eye on the bench. Because even if Kuna starts, you've got Sesko waiting. How Carrick manages the game if it's 0-0 after an hour. Like, it's another big test. Does he stick to the plan or does he panic?
Here's a final thought for you, though. We're saying Kuna should start. Sesko is on the bench. Both of these guys want to be the main man. If Kuda really nails down that spot and Mbemo keeps playing well,
Yeah.
how do you keep a big money signing like Sesko happy?
That's the headache that comes with having a good squad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a much better problem to have,
Yeah.
but it's still a problem. Strikers need to play. They have egos. If one of them ends up on the bench for good, you could have an issue, but for today, against Fulham, you can't worry about feelings. You pick the team to win the game.
Absolutely. Win today, worry about egos tomorrow. It's going to be a fascinating watch.
Yeah.
Will it be that disciplined 2-0, or will the ghosts of Old Trafford's past show up again? We're about to find out.
I'll be watching those wingers. That's where the game is.
And that's a wrap for this deep dive. Enjoy the match, try to keep the anxiety in check, and we will catch you on the next one.
Take care.